Hi everyone and happy Monday, and we have the cutest little apartment building in the whole world or flat if you're British like me. It is a little sitting room inside a pineapple. I love this picture, it's so much fun, and we're just going to make a start colouring it. Now I have picked my Castle Art soft touch pencils just for change. I haven't used them for ages, so I just thought I would grab them out because as I say, I haven't used them for ages. I'm just going to start with my hooker's green. It's quite small, my hooker's green. Actually, we're going to be concentrating on the leafy bits, so I might as well come in a little bit closer to those bits and get started. Yeah, I think I'm just going to do a darker area at the base here and then taper it off towards the tip like that, and then we'll use another colour to finish them off. I was looking at the stripes and the patterning and wondering whether to do something with that, but I decided that it's a bit too complicated, so we'll just do some dark and slightly lighter colouring work instead. And then we can move on to the pineapple bit. Now I've coloured this before, as probably others of you might have done too, in the book that it came in, and I'm trying to remember, is this from Worlds of Wonder or Rooms of Wonder? I think it might be, I don't know. I wouldn't find out before I put the video out and put it in the title and description and things. I just can't remember. I'm usually quite good at knowing which books things are from, particularly, well, Johanna's. Anyway, I couldn't do it with anybody else's, I don't think. But because I've coloured all of Johanna's books and also coloured them as they came out. Like, for example, with Hannah Carlson, let's say, I got a lot of her books really at the same time, and therefore knowing which thing is from which book is quite tricky, because I haven't sort of gone through a book and coloured it avidly and then done another one. I've sort of been working on them all at once, and then they get all mixed up. I mean, there are some that are obvious. Witch's Cottage is fairly obvious, and Atlantis maybe. And the Spirit Animals is because they're sort of all double page paired up, person and animal. But some of the others you can guess, but they're not always that easy. So I'm Maria Trolle, no clue. I really don't know which picture is from which book, but that's okay. You can still enjoy a book even if you don't know what pictures are in it, if you know what I mean. I did actually look at a flip through of Hannah Carlson's Christmas book this morning. It's absolutely gorgeous. I so wish I'd bought it. I think I said this in a video I made earlier today as well, but never mind. It's sold out, you see. But it will be reprinted, I'm sure. I just have to keep a lookout for it. But it's I've got plenty. Someone asked me how many books I had. Oh, I don't like to count them. It's a bit scary, isn't it? I have finished a lot of books though, but still, it's tricky to count them. I did just did notice earlier, last night was it, that Morgan O'Brien's getting a new book out. I don't know whether it's out yet or not, or whether he was previewing it. I wasn't sure. And it is Christmas Kindness or something, Matchstick Mouse. It looks really lovely. I really like the idea behind it. So that was, and it looked like it was 25 pictures, so sort of a good Advent type thing. So I was thinking about that one. But as I say, I'm not sure if it's out yet or if it's just, he was just sort of previewing type thing. And I don't know whether it's going to be an ebook or a printed book, because some of his books are now only available as ebooks. So he's sort of taken them down off Amazon, some of them. I think sometimes people were complaining about the paper and stuff. Some people don't like Amazon paper, do they? Right, there's our beginning. Now, some of these areas where they overlap are not very shadowy, so we're going to add in some shadows, but I think what I would do is do the tips first. I'm just looking for the right colour. I'm going to use the cadmium green, if I can find it. It's a very barky dog. Bark, bark, bark. So I'm going to go over them all with the cadmium green to get those tips finished off. And then I will use a darker colour just to emphasise the shadowy areas. And then we can move on to our pineapple itself. I feel like, although this needs to look okay, I feel like I want the bit inside to be the bit that stands out. The room itself. Can you imagine how teeny tiny that room is as it's inside a pineapple? It's quite intriguing, isn't it? Little teeny tiny room. Yeah, I think what Morgan O'Brien had done last night was a cover reveal on his new book. That's right. And it was on Instagram. I was looking at it just before I went to bed. But I don't think he had a link to it or anything yet. Thing is, when it's a when books are printed by Amazon, like on demand, you can't do pre-orders because as soon as you buy it, it goes off to print. You know, they print a copy, so you can't do that with Amazon on the sort of on the sort of self-published ones that they print themselves. But it means that, you know, on launch day it's launched and that's that. You can't rely on any pre-sales. But I didn't get his last Matchstick Mouse book actually, which was, there was another Christmas one, I think, when his cousin stayed or something. I can't remember if that was a printed book or just an e-book, but I just didn't get that one either. But it was just I think I just decided that I had a Christmas book already, which I haven't finished yet, because I had two Matchstick Mouse Christmas, so I've got one unfinished one. So I sort of thought I've got that to do. So I didn't get another one. But anyway, and I had North Pole Elves, I think, which was another one of his Christmas books, which I did. I quite like this mix of colour. They're not natural friends, but I think they're giving us a mixed look, which I like. My colouring hasn't been very even, but I'm not really concentrating. Should be really, shouldn't I? But, you know. Okay, so the shadowy areas. I want a darker colour. I think I'm going to go with the burnt umber actually. It's quite a dark brown. And let's work from the bottom up like we have been. So in here, there's going to be some shadow from the leaf above. You can just work that brown in underneath there. And then the same with this one. And here. Now this one is going to have a little bit from here. But also it will be more shaded at the bottom, so I'm just going to put a bit in at the bottom there like that, and this one in here. It's very exciting. Also last night on Instagram, Johanna was showing some of her colouring from her new book, which, let me look at the date, 21st, coming out in America tomorrow. You lucky things. See, I'm a bit worried because, not worried, but annoyed, well, maybe concerned, I don't know what the word is. Jealous, yes, because it doesn't come out in the UK till the 24th, and I have put an order in for it, first class post, but our post is a bit rubbish, and if we have parcels, they are prioritised. The postal service prioritises parcels. So if you've got a parcel coming, you know that it's probably going to come on the day that they say it's going to come on, which is great. But if you've got a letter, then it doesn't get prioritised. They don't push it through the letterbox very quickly. So I don't know whether her new book will be delivered as a parcel post with the postal van, or as a letter through the letterbox, because it would fit through, I guess it probably wouldn't fit through everybody's letterbox. We've got an extra large letterbox. My husband insisted when we had a new front door that we had an extra large letterbox, because he often buys books, and it means that you don't have to have... Oh, that noise scared me. You don't have to have someone in to receive it. I printed something on my printer just now, and when I print on my printer, after a while it sort of turns itself off, but it makes a little noise because the print heads sit back away from the paper or something. Oh, just did that from next door. I'm home alone, so, you know, I wouldn't expect there to be any noise in the house. Oh dear. I'm jumpy today, obviously. There we go. Now here is one. So we're almost done, I think, with these. Now, I do wonder whether to put a little bit of bright colour on the leaves as well, just to give them some vibrancy. I'm going to grab the leaf green. As much as I want to rush on and do the next bit because I'm looking forward to it, I can't find it. Actually, I'm going to use the leaf green light. It's a little more yellowy. I do want to make sure that I get these finished. So this is the leaf green light, and I'm hoping it's just going to add a little bit of vibrancy to the tips of our leaves. So I'm not putting it on the whole leaf, just on the tips where I think they'd be a bit lighter. Just moving all around. Oh, that was way out of the lines. Never mind. There we go, a little bit of brightness. Probably can't even see. Right, pineapple. Now I'm going to vaguely try and make this look a bit like a pineapple. And I'm thinking these little bits here might be a little bit browner than this outside bit, but I'm not entirely sure. So I'm going to do the sort of outside bit first, and I'm going to use the green gold. Okay, and I'm going to do it quite plain, this outside bit, I think. And just work my way all around our pineapple. Now, is this SpongeBob SquarePants' house? He lives in a pineapple, but he's under the sea. Does that mean we have to do the sea around here? I'm sure this probably doesn't look like his house though. I can't say as I've ever really sat down and watched an episode of SpongeBob SquarePants. It's been on in the house a lot. I was trying to name some of the characters the other day. Why were we doing that? We've been silly. I couldn't. I know that there's we're trying to name all the characters, so that there's Mr. Crab, who's the man who's his boss, isn't he, who owns the fast food restaurant and makes Krabby Patties, which there's a secret recipe that I think gets stolen every week. Is that right? And then there's the squirrel who has to wear the helmet so she can breathe under the water. But his friend, we couldn't remember his name. We looked it up and then I've forgotten it again. But anyway, I'm sure it isn't that important. And there's this sort of snail. And then there's the man that works, Squidworth, who works at the patty shop place. Is that right? Oh, I don't know. Certainly not of the good children's programs I watched when I was little. Apparently my favourite TV program was Jamie and the Magic Torch. I also used to like Chorlton and the Wheelies. That was a good one. I could never understand the Magic Roundabout. It was a bit, I was a bit young for that. I think it was on more in the 60s, but it used to be repeated sometimes. I didn't really get it. I liked Rainbow, and I didn't like Blue Peter very much. Although it was okay in parts, it was a bit boring. It was more a factual programme, which I didn't like. I didn't like Newsround. I liked the fun programmes. Cartoons, maybe? I remember watching He-Man quite a lot, and She-Ra. And wasn't allowed to watch Grange Hill. My mum thought it would turn me into a bully. Strange thought, but anyway. I remember watching Biker Grove a little bit, but I was too old really to be watching kids TV, but it was better than doing homework, you know. Right, now we need like a beige colour for these bits. We don't have that colour, so I'm just going to use a yellow ochre and pretend. Will the yellow ochre light be better actually? No, the yellow ochre, I've got to try and find it. Oh, there it is. It's among the yellows. That's a surprise, isn't it? I'm going to just keep it light though. Not, because I feel like it should be a beige. So this has got a bit too much orange in, but I'm just going to put a light layer and then I might pop some grey on top and see if that works. I can't really name what my favourite programme was. Pigeon Street was also quite fun. Trumpton, Cambric Green, used to love those. Love the Cambric Green. It was never on. Sometimes Trumpton was on, which was okay, but Cambric Green was just my favourite. The one where the baby went to the doctor with measles, I loved that episode. Someone was painting and the paint landed on the baby's face and the mother took the baby to the doctor thinking it was very poorly. It's a great episode. How do I remember this? And my kids used to watch Pingu and Thomas the Tank Engine a lot in the night garden. That's about it really. Of course, a few of the shows that I used to watch are still on, like Jack and Ori and Blue Peter. Newsround, I think. But most of them, of course, they don't show anymore. They're too out of date, old fashioned, probably not politically correct either, you know. Right, I'm going to use the Davys Grey on top of this colour to try and pretend that it's beige. I'm not sure how well it's working. I'm doing it quite lightly. It's quite difficult to make beige, I always think, and it's a colour that I feel is lacking in many sets of pencils. Of course, you could just grab a beige out of a different set, and Prismacolor has one, Holbein has one. Not, I don't know if it's called beige in Holbein. They have like a cork, which is quite a good colour. I've only got a few Holbeins. I'm not sure what other sets have a beige, really. Trying to think. Chromaflow don't. Wonder if it's a hard colour to make, you know, pigment wise. I'm not sure. Now we're going to get some green. What shade should we use? I think the sap green is going to work. Just got to try and find it. Just all my pencils have turned the wrong way. There it is, the sap green. And where we've got these dotted lines drawn on these little sections, I'm going to put a bit of green. I somehow think sometimes think that's how a pineapple has bits of green on it, sort of here. My stomach feels like it wants to rumble really loudly. I can hear rumbling outside. I think it's just an aeroplane. I really need to go out. I've actually received all my deliveries. I should pop out for a walk, really. But making this video was on my to-do list as well. And actually having a walk wasn't on my to-do list because I didn't know if I could go out because I was waiting for deliveries. And my mum said she was going to call me. Maybe I'll get a chance, maybe I won't. There we go. Now, wall. Now, is the inside wall of a pineapple colour, yellow, or is it any other colour we want it to be? I feel like I've got no clue what colour to do the wall, so I'm going to do it yellow because it just saves me having to think of any other colour. Does that make any sense? In other words, I'm very lazy. So I'm going to use this brilliant yellow. It's not the same. I wanted a different colour to the outside, and I'm just going to colour up my walls with this. Now this is a little bit bright for a pineapple slice, but I find yellow's quite difficult to work with, and this slightly more orangey yellow is a little bit easier for me. So basically I picked a colour that I couldn't colour with. I'm good, aren't I? You're glad you watched. Oh dear, I'm going a bit delirious. I'm really tired. Didn't sleep very well last night. I never sleep very well on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday nights because my son, who isn't keen on uni, has uni on those days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I always feel uneasy about it all, you know, so I don't sleep that well. On a Monday my other son goes, he's fine. He has a bit of a moan, but it's not a really, I hate this type moan. It's oh, I've got to get up type moan, you know. But so I don't worry so much about him. And I still don't sleep as easy on a day when I have to get up early. But Fridays and Thursday nights, Friday nights and Saturday nights, I don't have to get up the next morning. Well, sort of do. Now this wall here and this wall here, a little bit darker than this one. Because they're on the sides and this one's on the back, I want them to just look a bit different to each other. I don't actually know which would be darker. It would probably actually be this one that would be darker because it's further away. Thinking about my perspective lessons, of which I've had none. So maybe I need to actually make this one a bit darker. So I just put another layer over this wall, darken it up a bit. Now, it's not very evenly coloured. I find yellow hard to colour evenly anyway, and so I figure if it's all a bit uneven, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe someone hasn't decorated very well, me, or maybe it's okay to have a bit of a texture on your wall if it's made of the inside of a pineapple. Be a bit sticky, wouldn't it? Ew. This sort of juice every so often trickles down the wall. Ugh. I keep thinking I need to colour that bit, but I really don't. Okay, let's leave that there for now. We can always come back and do a little bit more in a bit. Now, our shelving, wooden shelves in a raw umber colour. Let's do those next. There we go. Now, where to next? Well, we've got a pot, plants, a light, and chair. I think I might do the rug next. I mean, what colour rug would you have to go with yellow walls? Well, maybe orange. This is the marigold. I think I use this around the outside. Got hiccups now. Like that. And then let's have a quick look. Yeah, cadmium orange. This is cadmium orange deep. Yeah, let's use that one. I'm going to start at the front here because it's a little bit easier for me to see what's going on, because there's nothing sort of sitting on our rug. It will get me used to the pattern of it and colouring it before I have to try and work my way around all those details. It's quite bright. And this one. I hope everyone's doing okay on this Monday. I always feel refreshed on a Monday. As I said, I sleep better on Thursday nights, Friday nights, Saturday nights, and a little bit okay on a Sunday night, even though I have to get up. I do have to get up on Saturdays as well, but my husband gets me up because he always wants to get up early to go to the farmer's market. So I make him set an alarm, and then I hear that wakes me up. But he doesn't set it for as early as when someone's got to be out of the house. So usually my alarm's set for 6, his is set for 7. So it's not so bad. And actually getting up early isn't the problem. It's knowing you've got to get up and therefore not having a good sleep because you're thinking about it. Therein lies the problem. But I'm sure you've all experienced that too. You sort of get used to it after a while, but because we've had such a long summer break from uni, it takes a lot to get used to again. I say we've had a break, I haven't done, I've just had a break from getting up, making lunch boxes and getting people out the door. This is the orange lake, the other stripe. But yeah, it's week 2, I think. So we're still getting into the routine of it. I think it is anyway. Is it week 3? Quick. No, I think it's, yeah, I think it's just the first 1, 2, yeah. No, week 3, it's week 3. So, I have a feeling they've got a couple more weeks, and then I think they've got a week when they don't have to go in. I think, but I'm not sure. I can't remember. It's called a, oh, I can't remember what the name of the week is. It's got a special name, and I don't remember if they went in last year or not during that week. Anyway, I'll find out soon enough, I guess. But I have been nagging husband to book some time off work. He hasn't had much holiday. He was talking about maybe taking it out on Christmas. Problem with Christmas is that one of the boys has exams just after Christmas, and the other one has assignments due in, and therefore they'll be busy. Won't be able to go anywhere or do anything as a family. Right, there is our floor. Now, I'm going to do all the plant pots in the same colour. I'm going to grab a terracotta if I can find it. Is that it? Yeah. Going to do them all in the terracotta. It'll match the floor and the walls and everything, and they'll match each other. They do have patterns on though, so I'm going to start at the edge and then just fade a little bit inwards, just to help give the illusion of some sort of shape to our pot. Maybe a little bit more at the bottom. I think I'm just going to actually ignore the pattern. There is this one. So again, a bit dark on the edges. I haven't done the yellow there. Alright. Should be a bit of yellow in there. You probably didn't miss that bit yourself. A bit here. I've got the SpongeBob SquarePants theme tune going around in my head now. That's always good, isn't it? Help, help me. Anyway, I'm sure it'll all be okay. Right, I think that's all the plant pots, because this one is a vase. Or you could do this one like it though. There we go. And I think we could do all the plants in the same colour. I'm going to use, let's use this sap green. We didn't use it very much, just for these lines and things. We could use that. Now they're quite small plants, so I don't think there's much we can do with them apart from maybe just trying to fade them a little bit towards the tip, but they're quite small. So having to sharpen my pencil, I'm just going to make them a little bit darker at the top there and fade towards the tip. And then same with these. Now I'm not sure about these books and knickknacks and things with regards to colour. I quite like to keep this with a limited colour palette because I think it's working. There we go. Got this big plant to do now. Again, I am going to try and fade it a little bit towards the tip. It'll be a little bit easier with these larger leaves, to be honest. It's a bit more space to play around with. There we go. Piling up the colour. Just thinking I've got to take my son to physio tomorrow. It's like owing on his own. I don't mind going with him. But I have to try not to talk, because I think the only way that they're going to learn to be more confident is if they do the talking on their own. But it's really hard when you're sitting there and you think, they really should mention this, you really should mention that. Do you know what I mean? So hard to let go. Who knew being a parent was so hard? Now, I'm just trying to choose another colour for my books and things. I'm not sure this is the right one. No. I want sort of browns and oranges, those sorts of shades. What's that? The cinnamon. I think the cinnamon might work quite well. I might use it actually for the legs of the chair. Sort of wood look. And for the table. Now for the table round, obviously, so I'm going to fade the colour towards the middle. Like that, and then do the same here. Like that, and then leave it a little bit lighter in the middle. It just helps to emphasise that rounded shape, although Johanna has drawn it lovely. This table looks like a sort of 1970s table to me. I don't know why I think that, but it's just quite an unusual design, isn't it? I suppose I could have done the shelves this colour, but never mind. I think I'll leave that there, and I'm going to go a little bit different. Let's see, what's that colour? Yeah, the burnt sienna could work okay. Just trying to find it on my swatch chart so I can see. Yeah, so I'm going to do like this bottle, or whatever this is. I just wanted to make sure it was significantly different from the terracotta so that it didn't look too much the same, and it doesn't really. And then I might do all the books this colour. I think that bit might be dark, I just tucked in there. Stomach's rumbling again. I'm going to get a drink, I think, in a bit when I finish this. And then this one too, I don't know what this is with its funny little spout. We'll just colour it in. Now we have a vase, and got to think about that. Now this lamp, I'm thinking I'm going to grab my green gold and use that to make it look like the lamp fittings are gold or brass. So I'm going to try that. So fade, sharpen it, then fade up to the top part there. Like that, and fade up here so that we've got a bit that's lighter that looks like it might be shine from where it's metallic, and then this actual bold bit I think we'll colour it in a bright yellow. I'm just trying to see the yes, the golden yellow deep. It's a really good one for what I was wanting, really vibrant compared to the walls. Now, move some pencils out of the way. Flowers and vase, I'm thinking like an orangey red. We've got our burnt ochre, and I think we'll do our flowers in this colour. I think that might work. I don't know whether it needed sharpening. I think it does, it's a bit splodgy. I can do the vase in this colour too, but lightly. Like it's a sort of orangey reddish glass, like that. Now our chair and a cushion, what's this colour? Yeah, I'm going to do the cushion in the cadmium orange. It would match, wouldn't it? Everything's got to match now. There's so much matching. I'd like all my rooms to match. Or I'd like them to be clutter free, always clean and tidy and matching. but unless I lived by myself, I don't think I could achieve that. So I'm happy to put up with the clutter and mess so that I can live with my family. Right, red ochre. This is the chair. So, oh, is that another cushion there? I think it is. Right, I'm going to do a light layer across the chair of this. And then when I'm done with my light layer, I will fill in some of the darker details. Maybe the other cushion can be darker or redder, so that there's a bit of a difference between them. There we go. Right, so we've got a darker area under here, so we can really intensify our colour there and here, and then just gently scumble it out on the rest of the seat like that. Just going to tidy that bit up there. And then we've got a bit here that could be just a bit darker. I can just fade it up that way. Same on this one. Just gently fade it up here a little bit. And the same with this one, sort of seashell style chair, isn't it? Like a bucket chair, but with a sort of, I don't really want to do that on this side, but that's the way it's drawn on. Sort of dots on each side. Now I just want to make these bits a little slightly more vibrant and more even. So I'm going over it all, but I'm trying to put more layers on the bits that are lighter. Okay. Now the other cushion, I think we'll just grab, yeah, the scarlet red. And then when we finish this, we're going to do a couple of final touches. I'm going to intensify this so that it stands out as being different. There we go. Right, my first thing is to grab the wall colour, the brilliant yellow, and just go over it again because it's a little bit messy. Like making sure I go all the way up to the edges of everything, which isn't so easy to do when it's not coloured in. And just work that colour a little bit more everywhere. Yours might not need an extra layer, it might be fine. You can judge. Like that. And then the sides just a little bit more as well, but not too much because I do want them to be lighter. Now of course we should make it lighter because the lamp's on, but we're going to keep it simpler than that. But we are going to put a few shadows in. So I'm going to use, what's the best colour for that? Yeah, I think the burnt umber, which we used before. Whoops, here it is. So we're going to start on our shelf. There'd be, I feel, a little bit of shadow under here. And some shadow behind here. And then same with this one, a little bit under here. Some under the rim of this pot. And sort of where our books are touching, like that. Then down to our table underneath our little items, like that. And I'm thinking under this chair it would just be a bit darker on our rug and under our table. Little line around the basket too. maybe on the wall, just have a little bit under the lamp, a bit there, like that. Now I've done it on the chair pretty much with the red, but I'm just going to add a few touches with this, I think. Just between the cushions, under the plant. Now this plant's overlapping in places, so we'll just put a little bit in a few areas like that. Now I'm going to finish with a white pen. Yeah, there we go. This is the Sakura jelly roll. I'm going to put a little bit of white on some items just to make them look a little bit more interesting. Oops, like that. Got dots on the cushion here. I don't think that would be in white. Just wondering whether this pen would work. I've got this colour. This is the Jelly Roll Moonlight. I've got this colour. I'm going to try it on the cushion. It is number 417. Sorry, no talking. I can't talk when I'm doing that sort of intricate work. And I was thinking, we need to put a bit of white down here on these. Yeah, I think that's it actually. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. So you can see the whole thing. Now, there are options for backgrounds, like you could do the sea, or you could do a sort of yellowy background, or a sort of warm yellowy brown type thing going on, brown ochre, yellow umber, no, yellow ochre, brown ochre, that sort of thing. But I think it's fine without one. I think if I put yellow around here, it might just take from the centre. So I'm going to leave it as it is, with its very bright red chair. But thank you for watching today. I hope that you have a really lovely Monday, and happy colouring.